Do you remember this hit?
Pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet are stumping.
And what if I told you that the woman in the video isn't the same one singing? At a time full of scams in the music industry, like those of Milli Vanilli and Black Box, Technotronic starred in one of the most famous cases. The real voice behind Pump Up the Jam was a 17-year-old girl. The face in the video was a model, and the mastermind behind the project was a former philosophy teacher who gave it all up to become a producer. Today, I'm going to tell you how this scam was put together, why it was necessary, and how the truth came out. Come with me to discover the backstage story of Technotronic. And if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Technotronic was a project created by Joe Bogaert, a former philosophy teacher who decided to pursue a career as a music producer. Born in Belgium in 1956, Bogaert grew up in a unique environment. His father owned an electronics store. This not only gave him a strong knowledge base, but also early access to the equipment that would shape his future. Bogaert had a versatile music career, playing in blues and new wave bands. By the late 1980s, he was already immersed in Belgium's vibrant club culture, producing, under pseudonyms, new beat tracks, the dark electronic genre that had evolved from the local popcorn scene and was dominating the country's dance floors. He was inspired by the musical melting pot of the time, where Chicago house, American hip-hop, and European new beat collided. From this fusion came his big bet, hip house. He conceived Technotronic not as a traditional band, but as an open project, a platform to create a sound with more soul and create a different groove that captured the energy of all these influences. To bring this vision to life, he needed authentic voices. That's when he found the two key pieces. The most important was Manuela Camosi, better known as Ya Kid K. Born in the Congo, she grew up in Belgium and lived for a while in Chicago, the birthplace of house music. There, she immersed herself in the local scene and absorbed everything about house and hip-hop. Her international background, bold attitude, and unique voice were exactly what Bogaert was looking for. The second key piece was Eric Martin, or MC Eric. Coming from a Jamaican family in Wales, he carried a rich cultural heritage and, at the time, was trying to make a living from music in London. His entry into the Technotronic universe was pragmatic. His manager presented the project as an opportunity to write and rap. Since Eric understood the language of electronic production and was eager to grab the microphone, he accepted, without foreseeing the magnitude of what was to come. The working method reflected the nature of Technotronic. It was a studio project. Bogaert created the instrumental bass and sent it out for the vocals to be recorded on top. It wasn't a band formed organically, but a carefully planned concept, uniting talents from different places. Now, let's dive into the moment when Technotronic's strengths and weaknesses were revealed at the same time, with a song that brought worldwide fame and, along with it, one of the most famous scandals in the industry. The song that turned Technotronic into a worldwide phenomenon was born from an instrumental track called the Pro 24s, which Bogaert created to play in Belgian clubs. The inspiration came from The Acid Life by Felly Jackmaster Funk, a Chicago house classic. The iconic bass line was built using 4 layers of synthesizers, DX and Prophet 5, to create a powerful stereo sound, and the beat was programmed to the legendary Roland TR-909 drum machine, a cornerstone in the history of house music. Finally, the instrumental track came to life with the lyrics and the attitude-filled voice of Ya Kid K. However, the release of Pump Up the Jam in 1989 was accompanied by one of the most infamous marketing dramas in the music industry. The voice on the track was Ya Kid K's. But the person appearing on the cover and in the video was the model Felly, who merely lip-synced the song. Kid K didn't even know about it and wasn't credited for the track. The substitution was mainly driven by a marketing strategy. Bogaert himself admitted that he chose Felly for her appearance, which he considered more pop and marketable than Kid K's style. Adding to that issue was her age. Kid K was only 17 at the time, which put her in a contractually vulnerable position. This legal fragility may have given the label and the producer the confidence that they could pull off the image swap without immediate consequences from the artist. With the song's massive success, the deception became impossible to maintain. During American TV appearances, Felly spoke in French because she didn't speak English, making the gap between the image and the voice even clearer. Kid K acted quickly, hired an agent, and secured her rightful place. The success formed transparency, and the next single, Get Up, Before the Night Is Over, already featured Kid K prominently in the video and in the credits. The string of hits continued with This Beat is Technotronic, featuring MC Eric on vocals and Rockin' Over the Beat with Kid K back as lead voice. The group's career peak was opening for Madonna's Blonde Ambition tour in 1990. The experience was intense and the pressure immense. MC Eric felt the weight of performing before 40,000 people, while Kid K was secretly battling through pregnancy with his child. Her routine, as she later revealed, was throwing up, going on stage, coming off stage, and throwing up again. At the same time, the professional dispute with Joe Bogaert over rights and control of the Technotronic name was reaching its limit. The pregnancy acted as a catalyst, intensifying the urgency for the couple to fight for the future of their new family. The situation became so unsustainable that they abandoned the European leg of the tour. Thus, the departure of Kid K and MC Eric wasn't a post-tour decision, but the culmination of a dual crisis, personal and professional, that exploded at the height of Technotronic's success. Bogaert, however, held on to his concept of an open project and carried on. In 1991, he released the album Body to Body with a new vocalist, Reggie Magloire, and other collaborators such as the singer Riv and the rapper Colt 45. Singles like Move That Body and Work were released in Europe and Australia, but the album failed to replicate the commercial success of its predecessor. Ironically, Technotronic's popularity in the United States exploded again in 1992. The song Move This, a track from the first album, became a huge hit after being featured in a famous Revlon cosmetics campaign. The track was credited to Technotronic featuring Kid K, boosting the start of the most iconic voice of Technotronic's solo career. Kid K went solo and released the album One World Nation in 1992, produced by Bogaert. Critics praised her talent as both a rapper and a singer, but the record didn't sell well. In an interview, she described that phase as both a blessing and a curse. Technotronic provided her livelihood, but the audience always expected the same sound, limiting her artistry. The truth is that Kid K's connection to the sound that made her famous never really ended. In 1990, she was the voice behind Spin That Wheel by High Tech 3, another project of Bogaert.
Spin that wheel, I'ma make you feel.
This song became a massive hit after being featured on the soundtrack of the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. The inevitable return to Technotronic came years later, in 1995, with Kid K as the lead vocalist on the album Recall, and the partnership was repeated on the single The Mariachi in 2000. Even in the 2010s, her voice remained present in dance music, proving that despite other ventures, she was always connected to the sound she helped popularize worldwide. MC Eric took a different and artistically rewarding path. He reinvented himself as a respected producer and artist under the name Me One. His solo debut album was critically acclaimed and featured hip-hop legends like Guru from Gang Starr and The Roots. Over the years, he built a solid career, working as a DJ and producing for artists such as Jeff Beck and Maxi Priest. Because he was less closely associated with Technotronic's biggest hits, he had greater freedom to redefine his artistic identity. But what about the other two central figures in this story? Joe Bogaert, the mastermind behind it all, stepped away from fame. Instead of repeating the formula for success, he used his influence to become a respected producer of rock and alternative artists in Belgium. His most radical shift was becoming an author, writing books on art history and other complex subjects. Today, he leads a reclusive life, describing himself as an eternal student interested in the relationship between paranoia and power. After the revelation of the hoax, the model Felly attempted a brief solo career in 1992, but her singles failed. After that, she disappeared entirely from public life. Finding information about her whereabouts today is nearly impossible. The mystery of what happened to Felly remains, with fans on online forums asking the same questions for years without answers. On this channel, we've already covered other controversial stories like those of Milli Vanilli and Boney M, and I'll leave them pinned in the first comment. Now tell me, did you already know the story of Technotronic? If there's any detail I left out and you'd like to add, drop it in the comments. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video.